Hi guys, here we are. We've made it to the end of our fractions work. This is 4N, applications of fractions. Just like we have with every unit we've done so far, now we're going to apply what we've been studying to equations, order of operations, area, and word problems. So in this first video here, we're going to apply it to equations. All right, so I know that when I work with equations, I want to isolate my variable, and I do that by doing opposite operations. So my goal is isolate the variable, which means get it all by itself on one side of the equal sign. And then I want to show opposite or inverse. Those are the same, opposite or inverse operations. And remember, that has to be on both sides of the equal sign. Don't take shortcuts there. I know right now it seems like maybe it's a lot of extra work, but when you get to some more complicated equations that you'll have to be solving, you'll be glad that you trained yourself to do it this way. Now we're going to make a lot of use of our reciprocals. And if you remember, the reciprocal of a fraction is its flip. So the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. We're going to use that a lot when we solve equations with fractions here. And you'll see it's going to be very useful. All right, so this is 3/4 times C equals 12. So we know that we need to divide by 3/4 to solve this equation. Well, dividing by 3/4 simply means, remember, that I multiply by its reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 4/3. That eliminates the 3/4 over here. And you could see that that would work because 4 times 3 is 12 and 3 times 4 is 12. That would be 12 over 12, or 1. So those are gone because 1 times z would just be z. So all we have left here is z. And then we'll make this 12 a fraction over 1. Look for places to simplify, and I see that 12 and 3 can both divide by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. When I multiply 4 times 4, I get 16. And so I've got an answer there of z equals 16. All right, next one, I've got 1/3 times y equals 3. Again, that's a multiplication problem, so I want to divide, but dividing by 1/3 means that I would multiply by its reciprocal. And the reciprocal of 1/3, remember, is 3 over 1, or 3. So I'll be multiplying both sides here by 3 to isolate that variable y. So multiplying 3 times 1/3 cancels it out because 3 times 1/3 is 1, 1 times y is y. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So my answer here would be 9. All right, 4 times n equals 3/5. Well, this isn't a fraction, so we'll go ahead and divide both sides by 4. But remember, when we divide by 4, we need to make this 4 over 1 over here. And then that, of course, means that we keep that first one, change the operation, flip the fraction. So 3/5 times 1/4. So n is going to equal 3 times 1 and 5 times 4, or 3/20. Alrighty, 2b equals 6/7. We want this b all by itself. Divide both sides by 2. And that eliminates this. Since this is a fraction, we'll say that b equals 6 over 7 times the reciprocal of 2, which is 1/2. And so b equals, I'm going to do a little cross simplifying here. 2 divides by 2 once. 6 divides by 2 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 7 is 7, so b equals 3/7. All right, over here we've got 2/3 times x equals 5. So we know that to get rid of 2/3, times x, we're going to divide, and dividing by 2/3 is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, or 3/2. So we're multiplying both sides here by 3/2. That eliminates it over here. We'll make this 5 over 1 so we can do our multiplication. Look for areas to cross simplify, and we can't. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. Of course, 2 divides into 15 7 times, which would be 14. So that leaves 1 left over with 1/2. So we're at 7.5 there. All right, now this one's a little tricky. 3 times r divided by 5, or 3/5 r equals 9. Well, same thing. We're just going to multiply by its reciprocal here, and that'll get rid of this. This 5 cancels that 5, that 3 cancels that 3. So these are gone, and we're just left with r over here. And of course, we have to multiply this side by that 5/3. So I'll make that 9 over 1 times 5 over 3. So you can see where those reciprocals come in really handy here to make our work a little easier. Cross simplify here, both of these divide by 3. 3 divided by 1 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. And 1 times 1 is 1. So we know our answer here is 15. All right, we're going to leave these two problems here to practice in class. So next video then, we'll focus on order of operations.